We're going to look at R. Kelly being released from the Cook County Jail there. He is walking with his attorney, Stephen Greenberg, just posting bond within the last couple of hours.
That's right. He pleaded not guilty to 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse this morning in court. Of course, he was turning himself in Friday night, spent the
about singer R. Kelly, as there is a new development in that case. The R&B star facing multiple legal charges already, including allegations of sexually abusing under.
He was just asking for some clarifications about some of the terms that were read to him. As you all know, Mr. Kelly has some literacy issues, so it's really important there's a great deal of things that have to be.
Hi guys, how are you? Welcome to the show. I pray that all is well with you. And I want you guys to stay tuned to the show. We're going to be talking about R. Kelly, and we're going to be talking about the newly engaged couples, okay? All right, check it out. Welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is your Queen Clay Ling. Listen, I am going to do this for you guys today. All right. I am going to do this for you guys today. We are going to go from A to Z with R. Kelly, and we're going to give you an update on what's happening new in the case and in R. Kelly's life. Okay. Just want to kind of compose everything because it seems like this is the case that never ends, and it's just dragged, and it's been dragging on for years and years and years. And victims who have been waiting for their just due, it seems like they're going to get it. But it's been a long time coming. So what I'm going to do now, look, people, I did my research. Look, I got my research here. We got research. Okay, people. So we are going to go down his timeline and we are going to update the case. Okay. All right. And I'm going to start from the very beginning. And I kind of have a little trivia fact about Aaliyah that some of you all may not know. So, well, of course, I know that you guys don't know. So, I'm going to share it with you on the show as well. Okay. Once again, guys, we're still flying high from the book signing. I want to say thank you for your support. It was simply a success, and I thank you guys for it. Okay. All right. Moving on to the next venture and the next big thing, right? Right. Okay, so in the beginning, let's start, and I'm only starting from 1994. We're only going to take it from 1994 up until this present day. Go get you some popcorn, go get you some juice, go get you some water, go get all that because we're going to be here. Okay, we're going to be here. I got my phone and the charger, I got the hotspot going because we're going to be here because this is a doozy. And the thing about this is that really trips me out is it played out right in front of our eyes. Hey, Shawanda, how are you, sweetie? I said nothing but miracles your way. Nothing but miracles your way. I hope that you got you some water, some juice, some crackers, all of that, because we digging into this thing we started from 1994. That's as far as I'm going back. And then we're going to go up to the present day with this R. Kelly. Okay, so what I wanted to say is the thing about this particular story and this particular artist is that we saw it play out in front of our eyes, but I'm not gonna say everybody, but most of the community kind of overlooked it because he was a great songwriter and he had great songs, and you know he had those bangers. You know what I'm saying? And so it almost, I can remember when the story broke about him being on video allegedly with the 13-year-old, and how the tape just spread throughout the community, and how it just was a trip and people was tripping. It was almost like some type of joke. It was like almost like the newest fad. Did you get that R. Kelly tape? Did you get that R. Kelly tape? Not his music, but the actual tape of this man being with a 13-year-old girl. People's like, did you got the tape? Yeah, I got the tape. Okay, you can. And people was making dub copies of the VHS tape. But it's like, what are we watching? We're watching this man be with a 13-year-old girl. And it was like the newest craze. It was at everybody's swap meet. It was at everybody's beauty supply. It was at everybody's, off-brand mall, strip mall, and they were literally selling the tape. The FBI just walked up to a swap meet and bought the tape and watched it. They had the tape. It was all over the place. And he should have, listen, it may be some fans on here, and you can do what you want to do. But if you see a man sleeping with a 13-year-old person, and y'all know that was that man, he tried to say it was his brother. You know that's that man. That man did not get any time for that. He kept on writing stories and kept on being celebrated and kept on being awarded. So we knew that this man had did that. Not that he had a history, but that he had did that particular thing. You understand what I'm saying? And we kept, as a society, we kept moving on along, rocking with this individual, right? Okay, so let's take it from 1994 when he married Aaliyah. That was the biggest rumor in the street, right? He married Aaliyah. If people couldn't believe it, he ain't married. They just doing that for publicity. This man married this girl, okay? All right, so one of the trivia things I want to share about Malia is that me and Malia shared the same stage. I say Malia, but I meant to say Aaliyah. Me and Aaliyah shared the same stage. We sang in the same choir. She went to school, of course, in the Detroit Performing Arts. At one time, she did go to Northern High School, the high school that I went to and graduated from. But she moved on to DSA. That's like an artsy type of a school that has an art curriculum, a fine arts curriculum. She moved there, and she was part of the All City Choir for Detroit. And me and her shared the same stage. Me and Aaliyah shared the same stage. I can remember just sitting in the rehearsals with her, and her friends were selling her autograph, trying to, because she was famous at the time, but she still was in high school. And they were selling her autographs. And yeah, I thought that was quite odd, but she seemed to be a nice person. But yeah, we shared the same stage. We were teenagers, but yeah, we shared the same stage. And we got a chance to sing. I got a chance to sing with Aaliyah. So that's a fun fact, right? Who knew, right? But getting back to R. Kelly. So in 1994, R. Kelly married Aaliyah. Kelly was 27 years old at the time, and Aaliyah was 15 years old at the time. And if anybody watched the documentary, you know that he had people helping him getting a license, and how they had lied on the license so they could be married because allegedly she was pregnant. Okay, so it says that it was a secret ceremony in Chicago. And you know, Chicago is his home state where he was raised up at. It says Vibe magazine later discovered that Aaliyah had lied about her age on her wedding certificate, listing herself as 18. The marriage was annulled in February of 1995. 1995, that was the year I graduated from high school. It says a former tour manager for Kelly testified at his trial that he bribed a government worker in 1994 to obtain a fake ID for Aaliyah so that the singer could marry. Do you see all that was going on during that time? Because he was a celebrity, he was able to marry this 15-year-old girl, and then the government worker. You know this girl is not of age. You're securing documents to make her say that she's 18. You are allowing this 27-year-old man to marry this 15-year-old girl. I don't care who he is. He could have been the president. She still was a minor. Where's your conscience? In your wallet. That's where it was. All of this enablement caused him to have a self of I can't be touched. So he was able to move about and do the things that he would do, allegedly. You see what I'm saying? People let Leah down. People let these girls down, and one of them was a government worker. So you created documentation saying that this minor was 15 years old, so she can marry this grown man. Let's take the celebrity out of the equation. This is a grown man trying to marry a kid, and you allowed that. You facilitated that. Where's your conscience? It's ridiculous. Okay, so he did that. So it says for the rest of his career, Aaliyah dodged questions about the nature of her relationship. When people ask me, I tell them, hey, I don't believe in all that mess. She told one interviewer, we're close, and people took it the wrong way. She was covered from him. Hey, Chips. Hey, what's up going on, Chips? Is in his house. Hey. So she dodged it. Oh my God, you know, and it just breaks my heart that at this age she was exposed to that type of manipulation and knew how to even be vague herself and move around herself. Allegedly, they're saying that the mother allegedly also had a relationship with R. Kelly. That's one of our pop fiction. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's quite odd that you allow your child at 15 years old to move around the country with a team of people because they're trying to groom her to be a celebrity. Yeah, you can do all of that, but I'm coming too. Because at the end of the day, she's still 15 and y'all still grown. Hello. Hey, Vanessa, how are you, sweetie pie? So if you guys missed it, the fun fact about me and Aaliyah is that we shared the same stage. We sang in the same choir here in Detroit when we were teenagers. She went to Northern High School as well as I did briefly. And then she went to DSA, which is a school for fine arts. And we had an all-city choir. And I was a part of that choir, and so was Aaliyah. And so we were able to sing on the same stage together. I thought that's a fun fact. Okay. All right. So she said she would dodge the questions about the relationship between her and R. Kelly. I'm just so fired up about it because so many adults in this situation let these girls down and let Aaliyah down. There's no way in the world. I don't care how much money you get. I don't care how much money you get. You're not going to bribe me to create a fake ID so this 27-year-old man can marry this 15-year-old girl and have sex with her? Where's your conscience? Hey, there's no amount of money that would allow me to even do that. No amount of money. How can you sleep at night knowing that you facilitated something like that? But it happened. It happened. Okay. It says, so they obtained paperwork to marry Aaliyah when she was 15 in 1994, 7 years before the singer died in a plane crash. The certificate leaked at the Times listed Aaliyah's age at 18. So she lied and said she was 18, but she was really 15. It says the marriage was annulled months later. Javante Cunningham, a former backup singer for Kelly, said she never believed this day would come. They never thought that this man would get his just due because of all of the times that he dodged persecution in these lawsuits that kept coming up against him. You know what I'm saying? And so that gave him a sense of entitlement or a sense of I can't be touched, right? But my thing is, you ain't too big for God. Now, I know the man is talented. I know he has wrote music that's going to stand the test of time. People going to still play his music. Do whatever it is you do. But the individual that wrote them songs, is something broken in him that made him feel like it was okay to marry a 15-year-old girl that he had impregnated. You a grown man, sir. That's where it starts with me. We all have past traumas. We all have hurt. I've been molested. He was molested. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta have some discipline. You gotta ask God to help you. You know what I'm saying? We all have trials and tribulations, and we don't know why people behave and act the way that they act. You know what I'm saying? But some things you got to pull away from. If you know you are attracted to young girls, you need to be trying to discipline yourself and move away from that. Not indulge something like that. I mean, come on, you're not incompetent. You know that's not right. But people helped him and facilitate him to act in that behavior, right? And then he said, I watched a documentary where he said they should have got me a long time ago. They knew a long time ago. They're gonna wait now to get me. That's exactly what that man said. I watched him verbatim say that in a video. Okay, so let's move on. We're still in 1994, 1995. I said blessings, nothing but blessings to you all, Shawanda, and everybody in the chat. It says that there wasn't a day in my life up until this moment. This is one of the background singers. That I actually believe that the judicial system will come through for Black and brown girls, she told a reporter. I stand here very proud of my judicial system, very proud of my fellow survivors, and pleased with the outcome. So, of course, you know, he got 30 years, sentencing 30 years, but his lawyer is trying to fight it because they said that he was brought up on charges in racketeering. Hey, sweet Rita. He was brought up on charges of racketeering, and they said that he ran an enterprise to commit this crime, and the lawyer is saying that is not what happened. So, of course, we know that they're going to try to fight it. Okay. In 2000, now we're moving to 2006. Well, not quite yet, but in 2016. In a 2016 interview with GQ magazine, he described their relationship as best friends. That's the verbiage that they use. They use for best. That's in the verbiage. Okay. And so they said they're best friend. Now you know you married this girl. And one of the background singers said that he caught him having sex with Aaliyah at 15 in the back of the tour bus. And I want to pause right here for a minute. Where are the parents? Where are the guardians? And where are the responsible adults? You mean to tell me every adult around that situation was irresponsible and didn't care? Now, the parents did make him get that marriage annulled, but you still left her there. Okay, y'all didn't make a big fuss about it. Allegedly, you got paid off. No, you going to jail. You sleeping with my daughter. You marrying my daughter at 15. You going to jail. Everybody's going to know. I'm going to make a big fuss about this. Not know you making 15 more hits. You didn't make a big enough fuss for me, parents. This man done married your daughter without your consent. Am I telling the truth, chat? Am I saying something wrong? No. They were best friends. That's what R. Kelly said. Okay, but he declined to comment on their marriage, saying, I will never have that conversation with anyone out of respect for Aaliyah and her mother and her father who asked me not to personally. Please don't talk about my daughter marrying you. First of all, that ain't even a question to say. That ain't even nothing to say. We ain't never talking again after that. I ain't asking you nothing. Not only am I going to talk about you marrying my daughter, I'm going to persecute you, sir. I'm not going to ask you not to talk about it. You going to jail. But that didn't happen. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why it never came up again. Ask yourself. Now, allegedly, they said that she got paid off, that they got paid off, that R. Kelly allegedly slept with the mother too. Yes, Chubbs, they were married. They really was married. They probably allowed it, a sweet reader. They got paid. A lot of money was given. I'm here for all them answers. I'm here for all them answers. Vanessa, I'm here for all of them answers. Think about it. You as a mother right now, whoever's in the chat, your child marries a 27 years old man without your consent. She's supposed to be out there with this man building a career and traveling with him, supposed to be under responsible adult care. First of all, you ain't going nowhere. I don't care if it is a team. I don't care if it is things in place. I don't care if you do sign over guardianship, which I'm never doing that. I'm coming with you every step of the way. We going on this tour together. I'm not going to just put you out there. She was a teenager at the time. I remember when she got on. I remember her management team coming to Northern High School because I went there talking to my choir director about her schedule. She was already getting on. Where was the parents? The mother didn't come. The management team came to the high school. That's facts. I was there. Okay. No, we doing this thing together. You know the industry. You already know what's up. Come on now. Yeah, it was too much trust. My 50-year-old daughter ain't going nowhere without me. Absolutely, sweet Rita. Absolutely. That's where it started with me. So don't tell me, oh, R. Kelly, yeah, he did it. He most definitely is guilty of the crime. She was too young and R. Kelly was an adult. Absolutely, Chubbs. You know what I'm saying? That's where it get off at me. I know what R. Kelly did, but guess what? You allowed it to happen because you didn't protect your child. I'm not blaming the parent, but you were not there present. That's your child. You have a responsibility to know where your child is every second of the day of his life until he's an adult. Am I saying something wrong? You don't send your child out with a man, first of all, across the country, talking about you grooming them to be something. No, we both gonna be grooming them. Okay. All right. So yeah. So the parents asked R. Kelly not to talk about the marriage, which is odd, because we talking about it and you going to jail. That would have been the bottom line for me. Okay. So now we're moving on to 1996. We're in the year of 1996 now, and so 1996, R. Kelly, a grown man at that, absolutely. R. Kelly is sued for emotional distress. Tiffany Hawkins. Vanessa. Tiffany Hawkins sued R. Kelly for personal injury and emotional distress she suffered during a 3-year relationship with the star. Hey, good evening with Mika. How you doing, sweetie? Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Share, guys, okay? Because sometimes I forget to share my own video. How about that? Pray for me. Share. Okay, Tiffany Hawkins in 1996 sued for personal injuries, emotional distress she suffered during a 3-year relationship with the star. In court documents, she said she had been given... Girl, I'm about to be sick reading this. Oh my God. She said she began having sex with R. Kelly in 1991 when she was 15 years old. And he was 24 years old. And the relationship ended when she turned 18. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Miss Hawkins sought for $10 million in damages, but accepted a fraction of that amount. She only got $250,000 when the case was settled in 1998. Now, they clearly had some type of NDA, some type of gag order, because this is the first time I'm hearing a figure, an amount of what he paid this woman to shut up. $250. So it says Kelly spokesman said she had no knowledge of. Let me turn the page, and I hope I didn't cut it off. Let me turn the page. It's printing. I done ran out of ink, so everything is green. He had no knowledge and not, I guess, no knowledge of whatever it was, the agreement was. And it says Kelly continued to release successful songs and win major awards as accusations accumulating around him. Yeah, and at this time it was being made of a joke. Dave Chappelle was coming out with skits and movies about him peeing on people. Like, it was a big joke. Everybody was laughing. Heck, I even watched the skit. I ain't gonna lie. But at the end of the day, we're making a joke about a grown man peeing on a 13-year-old girl, and he did that. And it was him on the tape. And to this day, you can go and find a video on some type of porn site. It's there. It is still there. And men are still, for a lack of better word, getting off on R. Kelly pissing on a 13-year-old girl. Now that is fact, because it's still out there. It is still there. This girl, she's a grown woman right now in her 30s, close to 40, is still being violated as a 13-year-old girl because that videotape is still out there. This is how sick our society is. That people can buy that video and put it up on their filthy pages. And this man talking about people coming up against him. You need to be going to jail for that one little girl alone 20 years ago. She was 13. 13 years old. 13 years old. Sparkle's niece. 13 years old. This girl was supposed to be a singer. She was in a group. Got with R. Kelly. You never heard her singing ever again. He kept her at his houses and moved her around until she was a grown woman. And then she became a trafficker herself. She began grooming girls and bringing them to the household. And she was still with that cap up until, I believe, 2 years ago. She goes to Tasha K's page. Shout out to Tasha K. She talked about this woman. This woman was in a singing group. Gabriel R. Kelly became a part of his harem, and you never heard of the girl anymore. She came isolated with this singer for years, and it still was him, and became a facilitator, was booking hotels for other little girls to come in. Brainwashed. All she knows is R. Kelly. But to this day, she's being violated. And that's why he needs to go to jail. That's why he needs to go to jail. And everybody else who enabled it needs to go to jail too. Sickening, right? Okay. So in 2001, Tracy Sampson sued R. Kelly. This is, I'm going down the timeline. I may be skipping, or let me see, where was we at? 1996. Okay, so now we're in 2001. Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, breast care awareness. How you doing, sweetie? That's very, very crazy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I said nothing but blessings and miracles to you, honey. We're in 2001. Sued by interns. Now, mind you, he's still making hits, getting awards, moving about the country, taking his women with him. Allegedly, he had them in campers everywhere he went. He had the girls; they all had the same track shoes on. Allegedly, they would rent out a whole floor of the hotel. They would all be in their own hotel. They couldn't come out the hotel. Allegedly, he would leave buckets in the hotel where they would have to defecate and all that good stuff in the hotel. Was not allowed to come out. Allegedly. 2001, he was sued by an intern. Tracy Simpson sued R. Kelly, accusing him of inducing her into an incident of sexual relationship when she was 17 years old. The woman, a former intern at Epic Records, said she was treated as his personal sex object and cast aside. He often tried to control every aspect of my life. This is a quote that she said. This is a quote. He often tried to control every aspect of my life, including who I would see and where I would go. She said the case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum, according to the New York Post. He was paying people off left and right to be quiet. And that's why we didn't hear about it, because they were under NDA gag order. He was paying them off. He was paying them off left and right, doing what he want to do, paying them off left and right, going to the war shows, getting awards, doing all these grandiose skits and songs, getting high accolades, and taking advantage of little girls at the same time, allegedly. All right, guys. All right, when we come back, we're going back to June 2002. All right. Before we do that, we're gonna take a pause for the cause, and you know the cause is support. Check this out. Whoop whoop! Those are my two books I got on Amazon. I got tons of more, but we're featuring those two tonight. Brown Girls, which has been a very, which I have positive feedback from the public, and Fly. Now, Fly is a very significant book. It is very interesting. It helps you address grief with your young little ones. If you can't express grief, maybe a loss in the family, this book will help you show them and guide you in the verbiage that you need to use with your child as it relates to grief. It's on Amazon. Check it out. Okay. All right. So look, we are in the year of 2002 now. We've come all the way from 1994 to 2002. 2002, there were charges over a child abuse video. Okay. In 2002, he was charged with 21 accounts of making child sexual abuse videos involving various sexual acts. Okay, so one of the girls that was in his camp, he was having sex with, she allegedly she was forced to have sex with a child that was underage, and he made a series. He always videotaped his sexual endeavors allegedly with these women, and so she took a tape and gave it to the one of the news outlet in the in Chicago, I want to say, or the FBI office, I want to say, and that's how it got out. But he had so many bags of tapes that he didn't even know that tape was gone. Okay, so it was Chicago Police Department accused him of taping the act and enticing a minor to participate in them. All of the charges related to one girl born in 1984. Who did that sound like? The singer, the girl that was supposed to be being groomed to be a singer like Aaliyah was, that was very young, that was a part of the singing group, that was a niece of an artist that he was dealing with. 1984. Okay, it says his arrest stemmed from a video that was sent anonymously to the Chicago Sun-Times earlier that year. They passed it on to the police, who verified the authenticity, which helped the FBI forensic expert. It was him on the tape. Now he gonna say it was his brother. That's what he said. It was his brother, but clearly it was him. Okay, Kelly, who posts. Look how much money. See, money will get you a lot. Kelly, who posts $750,000 bail, immediately denied the charges. In an interview with MTV, he later pleaded not guilty in the court. And I'm thinking, how in the world did this man get away with that? Because everybody remembered the tape. It was him on the tape in his house with this girl. You can hear somebody call his name in the background of the tape. And he responded. But he got off. It took 6 years for the case to come to a trial, during which time Kelly released his wildly successful single. And I want to say, with that case, the family did not comply. I think they revoked the charges. Allegedly, they said that the family got paid off. And for a while, that bass player played with him for years after that. It was Sparkle's niece, and I believe it was the bass player's kinfolk, niece or daughter or something. I can't I don't want to get into too many, but it was related. That man continued to play and work for R. Kelly after that. Like, where's your integrity? Where's your sound thinking? Where's your mind at? You allowed this man to take advantage of this child and you still do business with him. I don't get that. But he got off on that. All right, so let's move on to 2002 to 2004. So after that arrest, it prompted more charges. Kelly was charged with a further 12 counts of producing child sexual abuse images in Florida, where he was arrested at his holiday home. These charges came after police seized a camera during the arrest, which allegedly contained images of him having sex with an underage girl. Sickening. The charges were dropped when a judge agreed that Kelly's defense team that the police lacked sufficient evidence to justify the search. As a mandated reporter, you don't have to go searching for no evidence. As a mandated reporter, you don't have to go searching for no evidence. As soon as it made clear to you that it is abuse, you're supposed to report it. You're going to dismiss seeing this person on tape because they didn't have a search warrant, correct? I don't get that. Okay, so let's dismiss the case. Okay. And then you go back, one of you mandated reporters, and then take what you found back to the system and charge him with new charges. They did none of that. They let this child molester go free. He wasn't innocent, and they knew he wasn't innocent. Because you see him, the whole country is seeing, the whole world is seeing him on tape with this girl. And nobody's doing anything about it. Sad. So they dropped the charge. The judge agreed with Kelly's defense team that the police had lacked sufficient evidence to justify the search. Okay, now we're getting closer. 2017. Now there's rumors that it's an occultist type of thing. And the reason why they're saying occult, because there's more than one. There's more than one girl there that's moving around. And thank you, sweet Rita. Thank you for the support. It's going to help you, I promise you. And the reason why I digress people for a minute. The reason why I wrote that book is because everybody, it seemed like people were just dying left and right. And you know, as an adult, it's hard to suffer grief. And I went through a bad bout of grief. You know what I'm saying? But just imagine a child who maybe their favorite family member dies. How do we explain that they're not there no more? How would they comprehend? And how will they deal with that loss? And so that's what that's what Fly is about. So, you know, because we have a hard time. Die. Sometimes young people don't even know what that word means. Die. What does that mean? Funeral. What does that word mean? You know what I'm saying? What does it mean to not be here anymore? So that's what that book is about, guys. Okay. All right. So support. Go get it. You know, it's going to help you. It's going to be a blessing. All right. Okay. All right. So 2017 allegations of cult, because it's more than one. They're traveling around the country together. Now they have, and you know what? The way that they're describing the way that the team moved about, it was an enterprise. It was an enterprise. It was a RICO charge because it was more than one individual moving in a system to facilitate these crimes. And that's almost verbatim what the definition of RICO is, right? Okay. Welcome. Yes. Yeah, welcome. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you, Chubbs. I appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, there has been allegedly reports that they moved around in campers, that the adults, his team, facilitated hotels for these young girls, and in any women that he recruited or he befriended, they facilitated getting them across the country to get them to R. Kelly. Any deals that he made with any parents on this alleged, I'm going to groom them and make them a celebrity, people facilitated the transport of these young girls across state line. So yeah, that was a RICO. That was an enterprise movement. It was a criminal act because there was sex with minors during this time with these individuals. So yeah, it was. Okay, so 2017, the buzz about him having a cult. A long and detailed BuzzFeed report accused R. Kelly of trapping 6 women in a sex cult. 6 of them. An article alleged that Kelly seduced young women when they approached him for help with their music careers before taking control of their lives, dictating what they eat, how they dress, and when they bathe, when they slept, and how they engaged in sexual encounters. That sounds like a cult to me. That sounds like a male dominant cult to me. Okay? 2017 to 2018, victims approached the press. BuzzFeed reported prompted further allegations. Johanna Pace. Now, Johanna Pace, of course, you all seen it on documentary. She was a super fan who, during his trial, that long trial of the videotape, the girl that was in videotape that trial, she stood outside. It was a super fan. She came out every day. Again, I want to say, where was your mother? Now, allegedly, they said the mother worked, and they said that she would sneak out. She would sneak out every day. Okay, that may be true, but once the news, the newspapers took pictures of this girl, she was in the newspaper, and she making the news. You got to know that's your daughter. You got to know she ain't in school. Okay. When she started getting on there, and she did, she made the paper. They called her a super fan. She was out holding signs. They got a picture of her holding signs. Okay. You got to know she ain't in school. And then what is you doing? So I don't care if he is a singer. He's still a grown man. That's why parents, you got to be careful who your child is idolizing. You know who they should be idolizing? Their parents, their grandfathers, their grandfathers, their grandmothers, their fathers, their mothers. That's who they should be idolizing. Not no Drake. Not no Beyonce, not going crazy over these people. Am I telling the truth? You may enjoy these artists. You may emulate your attire, how you dress like these artists, but you may not idolize and worship them. That only belongs to the Lord. Do you understand? That's why people get caught up. You got people, their whole life is artists and celebrities. They so engrossed in these celebrities that they can't even see themselves. They start whole careers after following and being engrossed in these celebrities. Like, these people are not God. These are mere humans who have a talent and ability to do something. Am I telling the truth? Okay. All right. So Johanna Pace broke a non-disclosure agreement. They paid her off too. She broke her agreement to speak about having sex with R. Kelly while she was underage. Another woman, Kitty Jones, claimed the star starved her, coerced her into sexual encounters with other women, and physically abused her. Ms. Pace will go on to testify against Kelly in a 2021 trial. Ms. Kitty, along with other members of R. Kelly Inner Circle, also spoke to BBC 3 documentary in March of 2018. One former friend and collaborator, Lovell Jones, said Kelly asked him to scout out women that looked young at parties and claimed that it was common knowledge that the singer preferred young girls. Did you hear that? It was common knowledge in the industry that he loved young girls. Not only that, honey, you can look at these women and see that they were young. You can look at these girls and see they're young. That girl on the tape, you can look at her and see that she wasn't fully developed. Am I telling the truth? I'm absolutely telling the truth. It was common knowledge, and he was able to move about the way that he was because the justice system let them down. Let him down. Look how long it took for this man to get persecuted. Don't make no sense, okay? So that was 2017. 2018, the big movement came out, which was called Mute R. Kelly, Staff Departures and New Court Cases, okay? Mute R. Kelly campaign lobbied and record labels at RCA. They wanted to take him down. And this is the most current thing that we remember that had to stand out about R. Kelly. He got taken down by a handful of women that said no more. We're going to mute him for what he's done. And people tripping like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can listen to his music. I can't. Yeah, you can, but just know you're listening to a molester. Just know you listen to a person who peed on a 13-year-old girl. Just know that you listen to a person who caused women to starve. This ain't no allegedly now. He's been found guilty. And everybody ain't lying. Some of these people didn't even know each other. And they said the same story. And not only that, he took advantage of men too. Allegedly. Okay, everybody ain't lying. If you're gonna defute everything else, you can't defute him actually being on tape with an underage girl. Because that happened. Facts. You can go see that today on the internet. It's still there. Child pornography. You can go see that today. Okay. Kelly continued to perform his lives despite protests outside his show and was filmed saying the campaign against him was too late. Didn't I tell you that? That man said that. It was a quote. He said this campaign was too late. They should have been did this. Cocky. You talking about raping and beating and sodomizing little girls. And you had the nerve shaking my head. Absolutely. He said it was too late. He said they should have been did this. You live your life. You live let's just say a decade of your life sleeping with teenage girls. And one family, they were, allegedly going to look for their daughter, going around. You know where your daughter's at. You noticed you knew when she was underage, he was still with him. You could have bust that door in and got your kid. You know he's sleeping with her. I don't care if she did say she was okay. She said she was okay because she was of age at the time. All this buzz and all of this craziness, you wouldn't look for your kids. She was already of age. Let's talk about when she wasn't of age and she was with him and you lost contact. Why didn't you bust the door in then? Am I telling the truth? You waited till she get of age and you doing all these news conferences and all this stuff. And then she say, I'm fine, ain't nothing wrong with me. Then ain't nothing you can do because she of age now. But guess what? She wasn't always 18. She had been with him for a minute. Underage. And the first 2 weeks where you not hearing and seeing her, you should have busted the door in. But you know why you didn't bust in the door? Because you had an arrangement. Because you had signed papers, allegedly. And now your conscience is probably getting to you. And now you want your girl back, but now she's a woman. And now she ain't coming back. And to this day, Jocelyn ain't even come back. And she never came back. And allegedly, R. Kelly said it was an issue when the money stopped. When he stopped sending money. Now, if he cocky enough to say it's too late, then he cocky enough to say, I paid them. Am I telling the truth? Allegedly, I'm telling the truth. Okay? Everybody ain't lying. Come on here. Facts Queen. Everybody, some stuff he ain't lying about. Okay, he slept with them, but I absolutely believe he had some type of monetary payment arrangement because they had enough money to open up them a record store. They had enough money to be entrepreneurs all of a sudden. And then allegedly the father's on the tape calling the young girl B, cussing them out. The daughter that he so aimlessly been looking for, he cussed her out. Okay, let's make it make sense, people. Okay. All right, so Kelly continued to point that this is in 2018. Kelly continued to perform live despite protests outside the show. And he was filmed saying the campaign against him is too late. Only God can mute me. He sang defiantly on a song called I Admit. I am supposed to go to jail and lose my career because of your opinion. Am I? He was asking a question. Meanwhile, the star was sued by a former partner who said he intentionally infected her with sexual transmitted disease. And that was that beautiful chocolate, beautiful girl. She didn't know he had herpes. She again wanted to be a star. Okay? He slept with her in the hotel and gave her herpes. So, everybody else who was sleeping with him had herpes. Allegedly. This girl can never be with the husband unless you know, she's undetectable. She becomes undetectable, or she can't transmute it, admit it with medicine. I don't know what God has for her, and I hope God has the best for her. I think that was one of the most saddest stories out of the young ladies. She was sincere. She wasn't, I mean, I'm quite sure she was smitten with the stardom. I'm quite sure she was fed a pack of lies to get her at that hotel. And I believe that she was one of the ones that was a little bit older. She was, I believe, you know, in her 20s. She wasn't like 15 or anything like that. But he slept with her, and she thought they were in a relationship. She said he would call her and talk to her and confide with her and just talk to her and talk to her. He wooed her. Of course, she probably was smitten with the celebrity, him being a celebrity. And I'm quite sure she knew, I mean, you know it's past, but this is R. Kelly. And maybe in your mind, you make yourself believe that maybe this ain't true. She slept with this man, and now she has herpes. She immediately cut the relationship off. She immediately sued him. She was hurt. This woman is, what can you do? You got herpes. And she came out. She was brave for doing that. She came out and said that this man gave me herpes. There was a prostitute, allegedly. I'm not going to say prostitute, but somebody who slept with him. Hey, KCST, she needed money for her kids at a hotel. She was at the same hotel that R. Kelly was, because I guess he had a gig. And her sons were playing basketball with R. Kelly. And she went, we're talking about the timeline of R. Kelly, QST. Right now we're in 2019. We started in 1994. So we're in 2019 now. Okay, because we're wrapping this up because there is an update in his personal life and in his case. So we're just updating it now. Okay. This woman was at the same hotel with R. Kelly and his crew. She's so happy to be there because she had a house caught on fire and she had nowhere to stay, and she was living at a hotel. R. Kelly so happened to be there. He befriended her kids and they were playing basketball all day, she said. She told R. Kelly her plight. He said he's going to give her $1,000. Going to help her out. They get in the car to make the transaction. He allegedly makes her give him oral sex for that money. This woman was an older woman, but he saw that this child, you can't tell me, allegedly, he saw that this woman was in need and was desperate. She said his genitals smelled horrible. She said she got sick. She said she couldn't even finish. Allegedly. It's on YouTube. Go on and search for yourself if you think I'm lying. That woman had herpes. He done gave her herpes. Woman with kids, trying to take care of kids. His mind. He's sick. He's addicted to sex. He needs therapy. He is being guided by the enemy, by the devil, by a lust spirit that he cannot control because he don't have the power of the Holy Ghost to control it. And that's why he's been driven to do it for years and years and years and can't stop. That's why this has happened. Okay? She said in 2000, she said, meanwhile, the star was being sued by a former partner who he transmitted and gave him herpes. 2019. We're in 2019. New documentary leads to charges, and everybody's seen it. Everybody saw it. Surviving R. Kelly, y'all saw it. Over the course of 6-hour-long episode, Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly presented the most comprehensive look yet at the allegations against the musician. 2 weeks after the program was broadcast, Kelly was dropped by his record label. He had planned concerts in the United States, New Zealand, and they all were canceled. In February, the celebrity lawyer Michael Avanti said he obtained a video showing Kelly having sex with a minor. You know, I'm trying to hold back tears. And the reason why I'm trying to hold back tears, and I know y'all saying, how are you getting emotional about this case that don't have nothing to do with you? Because it got something to do with women. And I've been there. I know what it is to be taken advantage of a grown man. I know what it is. The thing about this that really makes me sick to my stomach is that everybody knew. We all knew. Especially the industry, they all knew. They made jokes and skits about it. Women came out and women was paid. There was video after video. They found so many videos of this man doing this to young women. They knew. They saw back in 1984. They saw him on the tape. They knew. And while you sitting quietly because of technicality, 6 other women got taken advantage of and raped. And little girls got transmitted, got herpes because we all sit back because of technicality. I'm gonna tell you something. He couldn't have been in my neighborhood, not in Detroit. Better be glad you was in Chi-Town, because you couldn't have been on the north end of Detroit, and we knew that, and walked the streets, because we don't roll like that here in Detroit. Sick into my stomach. They found another tape. Another tape just mysteriously popped up after 10 years. It just popped up of him. There were hundreds of tapes, and they knew it. Any one of those girls could have came forward. Any one of those families, any one of the background singers, any one of the musicians, any one of the people that was in the studios the late hours where he got the bed at in Chicago, any one of them that heard him screwing one of those young girls could have came forward and said he did it. But they didn't. And these women were sodomized. They were beat. They were raped. This is a quote of one of the victims. It says, I believe that he was just making so much money for so many powerful people that they protected him. Kelly has been in custody since he was indicted by federal prosecutors in New York and Chicago since July 19, 2019. His 3 years behind bars have been eventful, including a beating from a fellow inmate in 2020 and a bout with COVID-19 earlier this year. The singer faces further legal actions in August when he goes to trial again, this time in Chicago on child sex images and obstruction of charges. So now they're going to prosecute him on all those tapes that they didn't have for 20 years. Now he's going to go to jail for those tapes that they've been sitting on for 20 years. While for 20 years, he's been giving people herpes and raping them and beating them and chaining them up. Hey, Birdie. How you doing? Hey, Deacon, how you doing? God bless you. Okay. This is what's been happening. All right, guys, guess what? We're going to pause for the cause, and the cause is support. Check this out. Check it out.
I Believe is a lifestyle brand for anyone who believes in something greater than themselves. The time is now to simply believe.
Right, believe in something greater than yourself, and we know that is the Lord, okay? Okay, so what is his lawyers doing about all these charges that's coming up now? So the lawyers is calling for a sentence of 10 years. Of course, you know he got 30. The mandatory minimum for this conviction or less. Okay. They rung him up on a RICO, which is a different charge because they wanted more years, right? The lawyers portrayed Kelly as growing up as poor in a household rife with domestic violence and suffering sexual abuse from a young age. And I'm not trying to be funny, but guess what? Most of us have been in that same situation. That don't mean that we go around the country with 6 women in a camper and rape them continually. Sorry. Okay, allegedly. Okay, they said he was devastated by the sentence and planned to appeal. Lizette Martinez, who met Kelly when she was 17, said there was so many things he could have done to stop himself. Quote, he had all the resources. We do not have the resources like that. He could have gotten help, she told the BBC News. She said he avoided justice for years due to his power of celebrity. I agree with you on that. She said, she went on to say that I believe he was just making so much money that he just continued to protect, that people continue to protect him. Kelly has been in custody since his indictment by the federal prosecutor in New York and Chicago. In Chicago. All right. And he got one more case to go, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he do. He got one more case to go. Right. Okay, so it goes on. It says the charging documents describe sex and oral sex with a minor by the use of force or threat of force. The accuser was thought to be one of the women featured in Surviving R. Kelly, who said she met the singer during a previous trial. And we know that allegedly that was Pace. She stood outside the courtroom and she was a super fan. And he befriended her. That's how dumb he was. This girl was already being photographed in the newspapers, and he recruited her, and she lived with him, and he had sex with her. July 2019, the sexual trafficking charges. Kelly was hit with 2 separate federal indictments in Illinois and in also Brooklyn. Combined, the allegations depicted an organized movement. And that's why he was brought up on the RICO charges. He was accused of soliciting teenagers who asked him for an autograph in 2001. Kelly allegedly invited the 17-year-old to a hotel and offered her $200 to undress and dance with him. Kelly's lawyer said that charges was beyond absurd. No, it ain't. Because if you pay $200,000 for somebody to shut up, you for sure paying somebody $200 to sleep with them and dance. He did that allegedly. Okay. August, September. We are now in 2020. Prison assault. Towards the end of August, Kelly was attacked by his fellow inmates. They jumped on him. Okay. In the last pre-trial hearing before Kelly's trial, U.S. District Attorney Ann Donnelly made series of rulings to narrow down what evidence could be shown to the juries. Okay, during the hearing, she asked one of the singer's lawyers whether they denied the star had sexual relationship with Aaliyah while she was underage. According to Associated Press, Thomas A. Farina let out a deep sigh and responded, "No." Yeah, they don't deny it because it's true. She got pregnant by him. But my thing is this: you mean to tell me they bringing up charges because on Aaliyah? You got to go all the way back to Aaliyah to bring charges when y'all let that slide. When after Aaliyah, he assaulted and abused a plethora of girls, had girls on videotape. Why don't you pick either one of them that you assaulted and bring up some fresh charges? You want to go back and put charges on Aaliyah? You should have vindicated her when she was alive. Okay? Let's be clear. This man got video footage of him was sleeping with underage children that y'all ain't even seen the light of day yet. They out there. A victim said he got bags of tapes. Pick one. You chose Aaliyah because it was sensational. Am I telling the truth? August 2021, the trial, the guilty verdict. The trial began on the 18th of August in New York. Okay? On 27th September, the following 2 days of deliberation, the jury found R. Kelly guilty of 9 counts. 9 counts. And then he get on Gayle King's show and crying, talking about somebody coming up against him. No, them videotapes came up against you, sir. Okay, R. Kelly faced accusations of sexual misconduct since the 1990s, all the way back actually to 1984. Okay, for more than 2 decades, the chart-topping R&B singer R. Kelly faced allegations of sexual abuse. The accounts went back to start his career in the 1990s, with many centering the predatory pursuit of teenage girls. In September 2021, he was found guilty of 8 counts of sexual trafficking, 1 count of racketeering in a New York court. On Wednesday, he was sentenced to 30 years in jail. He should have got life. Okay, the singer, whose real name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, is separately facing charges and has a trial in Chicago on child sex imaging obstructing charges. He's also due to face sex abuse charges in Illinois and Minnesota. He might as well go ahead and accept charges in every state in this union, because I'm quite sure he done slept with somebody in every state. Okay. Yeah, it's life. Yep, it's life. You better believe it. Okay, so let's move on to the second. Before we move on to the second half of our story, which is the engagement, we're going to talk about why this woman is still rocking with him. Okay, I want to get into the psyche of this woman, but we're going to pause for the cause, and the cause is support. Check it out.
Amazon author Clayleen Woods has a passion for children's literature. Check out her newest book, Fly at Bumblebee High. It's a story about differences and how to just get along.
How to Get Along. That book is about inclusion. If your child is having a hard time in school, if there's a bully, yeah, this is what this is about. Okay. All right. Yes, Queen, I feel the parents should have consequences as well. They absolutely should. Ain't nobody just letting their kids go across the country and they ain't worried about them. You totally trust this man that you ain't never met. I don't care who he is. I don't care if he's the president. He could be Obama. You understand what I'm saying? You're not just gonna take my child and go across the country because you can talk about you're gonna groom somebody to be a superstar. No, you're gonna groom us both. Okay. All right. Before we wrap this up, I got a little bit more information to share. Then we're gonna move on. Okay. It says the R&B singer, 55, was convicted last September in New York for racketeering and sex trafficking crimes. He has faced years of allegation and judges on Wednesday said he had indifference to human suffering. A judge said that he had an indifference to human suffering. Anytime you let somebody sit in a room for weeks at a time and you starve them, they got to stop on the floor just to eat, allegedly. They got to defecate in a bucket, allegedly. Yeah, you got an indifference of human life. You do. The lawyers for the singer, whose real name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, says they will appeal. Ahead of his sentencing, a handful of women took the stand to confront Kelly. During his sentence, his victims came to confront him, as they should. As they should. So, R. Kelly in the court during his sentencing, he was dressed in prison khakis, dark glasses. Kelly declined to make a statement on his own and did not react to the verdict as it was handed down. Okay, the U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly said to the celebrity had used sex that you had used sex for a weapon, forcing his victims to do unspeakable things and saddling some with sexual transmitted diseases. That alone, here in Michigan, that's a crime to sleep with somebody knowing that you got a sexually a STD, and you sleep with somebody and you give it to them and you know you got it. Here in Michigan, you going to jail. That's a crime. Okay. She said, you taught them that love is an enslavement and violence. She went on to say the court heard how Kelly, known for his hit song, I Believe Can Fly, and Addiction, used his influence to lure women and children into sexual abuse over 2 decades while the country sat back and knew about it and watched. Okay, they talked about intimidation. It says a man was sentenced to 8 years in prison after intimidating a witness before Kelly's New York trial. In June 2020, Michael Williams set fire to a car belonging to a father of a witness who was due to testify in order to prevent a victim witness from continuing to cooperate, according to statement for the attorney's office in New York. Okay, so they compared that to this case. So it said Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison for using celebrity status to sexually abuse children. And they compared that witness intimidation. Well, I feel like he did use intimidation because in the parents of Aaliyah, they didn't really make a big fuss about him sleeping with their 15-year-old daughter, getting them impregnated and marrying her, and nor did the young lady who he was in the first initial video. You didn't hear nothing about them people, and I think they moved like out of the country for something. You didn't hear nothing about them. They got paid allegedly. Okay, some of the women who were abused by the singer Kelly decided to speak and comment before his sentence. They said that he destroyed so many people's lives as they addressed the court before he was sentenced. He said, one victim said, "You made me do things that broke my spirit. I literally wish I could die before would die before of how low you made me feel." One survivor told the disgraced star in a New York hearing, "Do you remember that?" Another sobbed as she told the court that Kelly victimized her after she attended one of his concerts at the age of 17. She said, "I was afraid, naive, and didn't know how to handle the situation." She said, explaining why she didn't speak up at the time. "Silence is a very lonely place," she said. The singer, who was previously best known for the chart-topping songs remixes, did not react or respond. Speaking after the sentence, another victim said, "I was a very young girl under the age who had a lot of dreams, and he cut my dreams and abused me mentally, physically, emotionally, in any way that you can imagine. I just want to live a normal life and try to heal, but it could take me a lifetime to heal. Just because his sentences don't mean that it goes away for us." And anybody that has been abused or molested or had trauma in their life, it doesn't go away. We may suppress it, or we may don't allow it to control our life, but you feel it. It's always there. You always remember it. You understand what I'm saying? That's a scar that God got to blot away, and he has to heal that. Just because he's behind bars, that don't mean that people ain't got herpes no more. Am I telling the truth? Okay. Prior to the sentences, a lawyer for Kelly blamed the singer's hypersexual behavior on being repeatedly sexual abused himself as a child. There's a lot of people that was abused, but they ain't going around trafficking people and beating them. One woman, her name was Addie. She said she recalled meeting a singer at a concert where she was sexually assaulted. "I never knew that going to a concert in September of 1994 was going to change me forever," she said. "These last 4 years have been a rude awakening of how my silence has hurt others. I hope Robert Kelly cannot sleep at night knowing this is what he has done." Angela, which is a pseudonym, it wasn't her real name. She said she detailed the singer's the deplorable and inexplicable behavior. She referred to the fact that Kelly was known as the self-styled Pied Piper of the R&B, a title which she said applied both in music and in technical technique and in approach. "Success in love, you present these glittering gems as if they were gold," she told him. "You use your fame and power to groom and coach underage boys and girls for your sexual needs." End quote. Another victim addressed him and said, "You were doing and saying encouraging despicable things that no one should be doing when we reclaimed our names from beneath the shadow of your afflicted trauma." At one point, a woman known as Jane Doe #2 told the singer, "You are an abuser, you are shameless, and you are disgusting." Several women testified as they were at the mercy of Kelly's perverse and sadistic whims while they were under the legal age of consent. They said that they were ordered to sign a non-disclosure agreement which prevent them from going public with their experiences. Some also referred to Rob's rules, which, if broken, saw them subjected to threats and violent punishment. "I was scared for my life," one of the victims said. Yes. Yes. As Kelly was sentenced, Kitty Jones said, "Many of us have been waiting for this day to come." While Faith added, I hope you get some help as well as ask God for forgiveness." Now, I do know in the documentary, allegedly, he made he made them sign NDA, and he also made them write letters saying that they did despicable things so he could use it against them in case it ever came out. Right? Another survivor, Sonia, told the court, "There were numerous times where I was scared for my life. I was scared for my daughter's life. And I hoped and I prayed to God that we can all heal." Javante Cunningham, a former background singer for Kelly, said, "We are starting to see justice and we still have more litigation to go." Miss Cunningham took part in a docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, where she talked about witnessing an adult singer having sex with Aaliyah when the late R&B star was underage. Referring to his sentencing, Mrs. Cunningham said, "You know, the Bible says that what you do in secret, God will reward you openly. He did all of this in secret, so now he's getting rewarded openly." Lawyers for the singer, whose full name is Robert Vessler, said that they was going to appeal and all of that good stuff. He got a court case in Chicago and Minnesota, which I'm praying that he be convicted of those as well. Okay, so we're gonna take a break and then we're gonna talk about this engagement. All right, that he having with Jocelyn, who's the only one that's left that's standing. Okay, all right, take a breather, guys. Take a breather. And Fly and Bumblebee High and Brown Girls and Brown Girls Speak. They're all on Amazon. Just Google my name, ClayLingWoods in the Amazon search engine. And guess what? All my literary work will pop up. Scroll down. I got stuff for positive affirmation for children, for women, and I also got a hardcover copy for positive information for our Black kings because they need it too, right? It's called Gorgeous Words. It's a hardback. It's just positive affirmation in there. You might want to give your man one of these quotes once a day for a month and watch him glow and watch him be encouraged and watch him love on you more. Gorgeous Words. That's on there too. Go check it out. Okay. All right. Let's get into this young lady right here. Let's get into it. All right. So what I'm posting and what I'm sharing is some information that I gathered from the internet about Jocelyn. She was one of the girls that was in the cult with him, Jocelyn Savage. And apparently they have gotten engaged. R. Kelly and Jocelyn have gotten engaged. And she wrote a letter on behalf of the judge for some type of leniency. Now, mind you, she was with him underage too as well, but she became of age and she has stayed with him. Right now, she's not staying in none of his residencies. Allegedly, she's living. The last I heard, I don't know if the story's been updated, but the last I heard, she was staying with two ladies who claimed to be his sisters, but allegedly they was not his sisters. But they took her in, and allegedly R. Kelly is financing that. I don't know how he's doing it, but allegedly that's what was going on. Okay, so I'm going to read what I gathered from the internet, and we can talk about it. It says, in a letter to the judge asking for lenient sentencing in a sex trafficking case, Jocelyn Savage shared that she's engaged and deeply in love with the R&B singer. Now, I don't know if he proposed to her or she just saying that they engaged. That's the letter right there that she sent to judge. And I'm saying to myself, who wrote that letter allegedly? Because they couldn't have been her. Maybe it was. I don't know. Okay. So she wrote in there that, I'm gonna read to you exactly what the letter says. Okay, don't worry. That she wanted him to take it easy on R. Kelly. I'm saying to myself, you got to be delusional. Okay. She said, my name is Jocelyn Savage, and I'm Robert Kelly's fiance. She began the letter. I'm writing this letter to support Robert in advance of his sentencing. So I can explain to the court that I'm not a victim that the government has portrayed me to be. First of all, you were underage when you came in contact with him with the hopes of being a superstar, and you ain't no superstar now. He allegedly made you get breast implants. You didn't even know that you were being groomed and that you were being manipulated. You think that this is what you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Because you've been brainwashed, okay? She said Savage went on to describe her relationship with Kelly as amazing and called the star who was found guilty of all 9 charges he faced, including racketeering, bribery, coercion, enticement, sex trafficking, the best thing that ever happened to her. She said that he was the best thing that ever happened to her. A man that isolated her from her family, a man that allegedly paid her family off. Allegedly. She said that was the best thing. He was the best thing that ever happened to her. I'm blown back. I am blown back. The best thing that ever happened to her. Okay? She went on to say, hold on. He's very determined and focused on his goals. Yeah, of taking women across the country and sleeping with them. Yeah, he's very very determined to do that. He's very determined to focus on his goals, and the things that have been said about him with me and other women being held against our will is absolutely untrue. Oh my God. The list that these women have to go through. So my thing is this: what's going on with this woman's psyche that she's willing to tell lies for this man, and she's still trying to hold up the facade that this man is not a child molester? What has been broken in her? Is she holding on just because of the celebrity? Is she holding on because she's being continually, whatever she knows, whatever she say is going to be in the news? Is she holding on because she don't want to let go the little amount of fame that she has? Do she understand that the type of fame that she's getting is not good fame, that she's being attached to a monster? Does she understand that? Or do you think that she's just so brainwashed that she just wants to stay attached to R. Kelly? Because it just don't make no sense. Make it make sense. You cannot blindly say, disregard what has happened to these women. And not only that, what has happened to yourself? She know that this man at one point treated her badly. She know that. She know that. But she said that he was the best thing that ever happened to her. Okay? The 26-year-old also wrote, it breaks my heart to hear that the government has created a narrative that I'm a victim. I'm a grown woman. Yeah, now. You're a grown woman now. You're a grown woman now. And I can speak for myself, which is why I want to provide this letter to the court, she added. Kelly is a great man with a great heart and deserves to be home with his loved ones who are ready to support him. Okay, tell that to his wife that he beat. Like, he got a whole wife, right? And children. Tell that to the children where he was sleeping with. The same age. He was sleeping with women the same age, little girls the same age as his children. Okay? Let's make this make sense, Jocelyn. Okay. All right. She said, Kelly, that he is going to continually to deny all of these accusations. And she's standing by him. Okay. So it says Savage penned the letter. In addition, he received 5 years of supervised release. He received 5 years supervised release and $100,000 fine as a part of his sentencing. So he had a fine too, right? Now I don't know about the supervised. I don't know if that's about. I'm gonna have to do some more research about that. I don't know what that's about. Because supervisor what? To what? See your kids? I don't know. I don't know about all that. I'm so shiny because it's getting hot up in this piece. I'm about to leave in a minute. It's getting hot. Okay, so back in 2019, Savage appeared on CBS this morning alongside Azriel Clary, which I know she left. Now, they were on the internet. They had got into a fight. Both of them had got into a fight because Azriel wanted to leave. And of course, they got into a fight, and it was streamed. If you haven't seen it, you can go see it. It is on YouTube. They got into it. You know, they were like arm in arm. We standing by our man until they got too hot, until everything started going away. And so they got into it. All right, so back in 2019, Savage appeared on Good Morning, CBS This Morning. And they denied all allegations of being held against their will. She said this is lies for the money, and if you can't see, you're ignorant and you're stupid because you want it all to be true. Clary said during the interview, negativity sells. But she ended up also leaving too as well. Her father came and got her. Okay. And guess what, guys? I think that is it. That is it. Okay. Now, I'm going to give y'all a little shocker. And you probably want to call your friends and share or whatever. I put it on the tail end on purpose. Let me go to the big screen so people can see my glistening face. So that everybody can get a clear understanding. All right. And I kind of went back and forth on if I was going to address it or not. Let me see here. And so I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of it because this channel was not designed for all of this rhetoric. And we're gonna move forward. I'm not gonna get into a whole bunch of detail. And this gonna be the last time I address it, and then gonna come up again. I didn't want to address it, but I want people who so that everybody can get some clarity. Okay. And then we're gonna leave this thing alone. We're gonna keep it moving, right? Okay, so during the book signing, I went live. I was late because the city had jacked up the people had jacked up the park in the city. Didn't come out clean, so we had to clean and all that stuff. So it was a big old thing. But I did go live. Okay. The majority of the live was muted because of music that was being played. And I muted a lot because I didn't want them to take it down, which didn't work because I got a copyright strike. So I took it down. Now I am going to remove the music and upload it back again. Okay. So y'all can at least see it, but you won't hear it. Okay. So I'm going to address this. Apparently, one of my friends was in the chat, and apparently there was a back and forth between some of the content creators and an individual in the chat. Now, I'm going to tell you, I saw a couple of responses, okay, by a content creator. I didn't see the majority of the chats, but I was so distracted. I was saying hi. I was looking at people saying hi. Yeah, I did. But I didn't scroll through everything and see everything that was being transpired. I did see someone say, "You all do not do this. This ain't what it's about," to some effect. I'm not even quoting it verbatim because I can't even remember. Okay. I then went into the chat and said, I don't know what's going on, but whatever's going on in the chat, when I come back, it needs to stop. I said that, okay? Then I went and then I muted, okay? No problem, Vanessa. No problem. No problem, sweetie pie. And then I walked away from the video because I was engaging in a book signing. I wasn't 100% focused on what the chat is. Do I condone berating or going back and forth in the chat? No, I don't. But I don't. To my knowledge, that is not what happened. Okay. I don't encourage, nor do I want anybody feeling berated or feeling like they're being ganged up on in my chat. Do I condone that? I don't. That's not my character. That ain't how I roll. Okay? That ain't how I roll at all. And but I'm gonna say this. I didn't see it. And what has been made known to me. I'm making a conscious conclusion that that's not what it was. Okay? Now I do understand that some of the people that I have subscribed to, some of the people that are subscribed to me, there is some friction, there is some contention, and some people just don't get along. That's life. That happens. There's nothing that I can do about that. Unfortunately, we have all befriended one another in some kind of way. Now I will say this: Shelby Chubbs and Regina Stokes and other people supported me. They supported the efforts of fundraising for my best friend and her death. They took on that cause on their own. Regina Stokes read an article about my friend. She was featured in People magazine. She reached out to me and said this is what she wanted to do. They raised money, and that money went directly to those children. They went on and then rallied and had other content creators giving. And some of the funds that they gave went towards the book signing, and they supported. I will not dispute that, and I am grateful for it. Okay, at this point in time, I'm already subscribed to these people. You understand what I'm saying? I cannot help because there has been a falling out. Okay, I cannot help that. All right, I'm not going to be caught up in no back and forth about nothing. This ain't what this channel is devised for. I'm not standing for it, and I'm not going for it. You understand what I'm saying? All I can say about Shelby and Regina Stokes is that these people and Boy Star Capping and all these people have supported. Okay, that's all I know. Have they said anything to me about anything derogatory about my friend? Absolutely not. They have not. For one, I don't roll like that. Did they say you need to stop rocking with your friend or this and that? They did not. All of the conversations that we had was about the book signing and how hurt they was about my best friend. And that is what went down. I am not so naive and incompetent that I can be controlled by one person or manipulated by somebody. I'm going to need y'all to have more faith in me than that. But I am about what's fair and what's right. I don't feel that my loyalty has to be tested. I don't feel that I have to prove anything to nobody because I've already proven myself. And this is what my biggest fear is, that you would justify a friendship over some YouTube he say, she say stuff. And that is what I'm not going to do, because my proof is in the pudding. My proof is in the labor. My proof is in my loyalty. And my proof is in the 20 years. Okay. I don't want us to magnify something so big that it becomes something that is irrelevant. Let's not pretend. Let's not embellish. Let's not blow nothing up. Because it is truly getting out of hand. Again, I will say this. I thank you for all the support you have given me, and that's exactly what it was. It was pure, unadulterated support that these people have given me. I cannot help that we share mutual friends. I can't help that. Okay? I can't help that. I will not be threatened. On some friendship stuff. Nobody's going to threaten a friendship over this. If we can't be friends, if you can't take my word, then how strong was that cord in the first place? That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay? This is your queen saying, be great.